I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Riaz and I'm the Operations Manager for Life Medical Centers and Clinics. This is Dr. Sonia. She's an expert in stress management. And that is our registered nurse, Ms. Jishi, over there. So anyway, I'll pass the ball to the doctor directly because I know that you guys have been waiting for so long for this to happen. So, doctor, and also very important, I really thank Ms. Lauren for organizing this event in coordination with LifeCare. So they are the one who actually organized this, and I believe this will be a really good session for everyone and very informative also. And personally saying that whenever I have stress, this is my go-to place to get advice. So rest assured, you're in safe hands. So, doctor, over to you.
Thank you, yes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Sonia. I'm going to talk about the most important topic right now is stress. How many of y'all are stressed right now?
Oh. Please. Please.
Okay. So let's talk about stress management. What is stress? Stress is basically a reaction of people to an excessive pressure, work pressure. It could be any kind of pressure, right? And they feel that they are unable to perform and they have this fear. And that fear causes stress, right? So stress is a reaction people have to excessive pressure or the types of demands placed on them. It arises when they fear that they can't cope up with it. And as Benjamin Franklin said, stress is often termed as 20th century syndrome, born out of man's race towards modern progress and ensuing complexities. Okay, so what is eustress versus distress? So anything that has EU, that means normal, or that is something that is positive. And when you add DI, that means distortion of that. Distortion of stress is distress, right? So let's talk about eustress first. So eustress is basically positive stress. Positive stress is mostly short term. Like suddenly you get this, motivation to do. You're in a good mood and you're like, you come to work and you feel like, oh, today is my good day and I'm going to perform very well. I'm going to cope up with everything. So that is what eustress is. So it motivates, it focuses your energy. It's very short term. Like you are highly motivated in the morning and by the day, as the day passes, you become negative again. So that's like a short thing. Then it is perceived as within our coping abilities. That means you feel like, yes, I can cope up with this. It's very easy, I can do it, right? And it feels exciting, which in turn improves performance and energizes you into motion. You get into action like, yes, I'm going to perform, I'm going to do it, right? That is positive stress. Now, negative stress or distress, right? So it's totally opposite of that. It causes anxiety. This happens, it could be short term or long term. So when it is short term, it's basically because of some kind of a work pressure. You have some deadline, you have to finish that work. That causes anxiety and stress in you, right? It is perceived as outside of our coping abilities. You feel like, oh shit, I cannot cope up with this. It's too much for me to handle, right? It feels unpleasant and then in turn you lose motivation to do it, right? Then it in turn decreases your performance and can lead to mental, physical and behavioral problems. Okay. What are the causes of stress? In a company, in business setup, the most important cause of stress is job insecurity, right? Am I right? Yeah. Then high performance demand, workplace culture. This is also very important, workplace culture. What kind of environment you are working in? Is it too stressful? How your colleagues are? How the management is, right? He's laughing there. So, yeah, I take it as a
positive.
And
Take it as a positive.
Yeah. And bad boss. I am sure most of you agree with this.
They're good, yes.
Yeah. So, for few of us are lucky we have good bosses.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Then personal and family problems. So if you have some ongoing family problems as well, so you take that problem and you come to work, it will add to your stress. Even though you're not stressed at work, but that what you had at home, you carry it around with you everywhere, right? And technology, believe me or not, technology also plays an important fact in stressing you. For example, you have to give a presentation and you are preparing it whole night, you're sitting up and preparing for it, and suddenly your laptop doesn't work. What are you going to do? So you are totally dependent on the technology, right? Another thing is people have a habit of continuously, when they go home, they want to relax, want to browse social media and all that, right? So that also kind of, what kind of feedback we are getting, what kind of news, are we watching some negative news, any negative thing, that also adds to the stress. We don't know about it, but subconsciously you kind of take everything, right? Okay. Signs of stress. So there are mental, behavioral and physical signs of stress. Mental is insomnia. What is insomnia? Insomnia is inability to sleep in the night. How many of you have experienced this insomnia?
Always.
Yeah, it mostly happens.
My wife, because of my snore.
Yeah, that's another stress. Okay, so it mostly happens when you change your environment, when you are, shifting to another country probably. So the new bed, new place, you can't sleep. That is also because of stress, right? Loss of mental concentration. You are unable to concentrate on your work, right? That's also mental, and which eventually leads to depression. Especially if you don't have a healthy work environment, can lead to depression. So behavioral, extreme anger or frustration, and then which causes family conflict, because the first person that gets hit by your frustration and anger is the person who's closest to you, like your spouse or your children or your parents, right? Physically, you can have migraine, headache. She's laughing. Migraine, headache, back problems. Yes, back problems. Stress can also lead to back problems, right? And the most important thing that I wanted to talk about is eating disorder. So there are two kinds of people. People who eat too much when they're stressed, and then there are people who lose appetite, who don't eat at all. Majority of the people come in the first category, right? Eating too much. Stress. That is called emotional eaters. And what we do is we get comfort with that food. It's called comfort food, right? And it's always unhealthy. Something that is unhealthy is our comfort food.
Yeah.
And eventually what happens is we don't know we are putting on weight, and that when you're overweight, you're not fitting into the dress, especially for girls, we're not fitting into a dress. We have a party, you're not fitting. That will add to stress more, right? So you're stressed already, you're eating, and then you're getting more stress. Yeah, so that what happens. So some people do lose appetite as well. That's also one of the signs of stress. Okay, acute stresses. So acute is something that happens within a short period of time. It's called acute, right? So it's usually short term, as I said, and maybe due to work pressure. Okay, work pressure, meeting deadline pressure, overexertion, and minor accidents. Something that is very acute, like something that happened right now. You have some deadline, a presentation, that can cause an acute stress. Your heart rate will go up, right? And you will start misplacing things. Meaning you are so anxious, you're so much in stress that you are ready for everything, but you keep your things at home only. You don't remember, you have this memory loss. Okay, this can occur in acute stress. Tension headaches. Tension headache is something you get in this area. The forehead, it's like a band. So whenever you have a headache here in this area, it's a tension headache. Okay, back pain, as I said. Stomach problems. So when you have, you are stressed, mostly when you have a presentation to give, something happens in your stomach, you want to go to the washroom soon. So that also occurs, that is also because of stress. Rapid heartbeat, muscle ache and body pain can also occur. Chronic stress. Chronic means something that is occurring over a long period of time. And it's the most serious type. It's a prolonged stress that exists for weeks, months, or even for years. Right? And we are unaware of it. So causes of chronic stress is poverty, broken or stressed family, marriages. So that in a long run can cause stress as well. Chronic illnesses and successive failures in life. So what are the signs? People get used to it and may not even realize that they are under stress, and then eventually it will cause serious health issues. Okay. Okay, effects of stress in businesses and companies. So work-related stress can result in high levels of employee turnover, and employees experiencing stress are more likely to make poor decisions, casual errors, and workplace relationship and customer service may deteriorate. I think all of us agree to it, right? In a workplace this happens. So this is one of the effect in a company. Okay, so now our topic, stress management. So there are a few preventive measures that we can take. Like for example, when we are working in a corporate environment, nothing is stable, right? Like you have to do some work, but suddenly at the last moment you are told to do something else. So you should always be prepared for change, right? So that is one of the preventive measures we can take. Then find time to refresh, re-energize and re-motivate. Try to motivate each other as well. Okay? Avoid giving into alcohol, smoking and other substance use. Alright, keep a positive attitude towards stressful life situation. These are few preventive methods. Okay, what is an advantage of stress management in a workplace, in a company? You'll see less absenteeism due to stress-related disorders, less workers' compensation loss due to stress-related illness or accidents. This is for the bosses, okay? Is there bosses here? The head of the departments are here, they should
Head of class.
Big boss for sure.
So improve job performance of the employees, less stressful, more efficient workplace, improved employee attitude and improved employee overall health, which is also important. Okay, so how do you manage an acute stress? So there is something called as ABC strategy, awareness, balance and control. Awareness basically is you have to get aware. When you're stressed, you have to be aware. Oh, I'm getting stressed. That is called awareness, right? And then you try to balance yourself. And when you balance, then you can control your emotions. So be aware of your choices. You always have a choice. So if you feel like something that is too much pressure on you, you have a right to say no to it. You don't have to do everything on your own. You can just ask for help. You can just say no, right? Then stop shallow breathing. Create a habit of taking deep breaths. Mostly we'll notice when we are stressed, we're taking very shallow breaths, rapid and shallow breaths. That also increases your heartbeat. So take some time, take a break and take deep breaths. It helps. It decreases your pulse. Okay? Then visualize and communicate your visions. Laugh and be thankful. Take short breaks, close the door, open the window, have a seat, do nothing, let the stress go.
Close the door, shout.
Yeah, we can't open the window. Close it. Okay, I'll demonstrate a small thing, how the deep breathing works. So everyone, if your tongue is touching the roof, just let it come down, relax, unclench your jaw. Everyone, unclench it. Just, no, not like this, just unclench it. Okay. Drop your shoulders down. Okay, relax, have a straight posture. Sit straight, everyone, stand straight. Okay. Close your eyes. Okay. Take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Hold, hold, hold. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once more. 1, 2, 3. Hold, hold, hold. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once more. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Hold, hold, hold. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3. How does it feel? This is a short exercise which you can do. It's called deep breathing exercises. So what it does is basically your rapid heartbeat will come down, especially in situation when you are very anxious. For example, there is a client and you have to give your presentation. I don't know what kind of stress you people have, but if I talk about myself, if I have to give a presentation, for example, I sit for 5 minutes, take a deep breath, and I slow down my pulse. It will, if you have high blood pressure, that will also come down with this instantly. This is one of the remedies. You all can try that. Okay, this is in acute cases, acute stress. Chronic stress management. For chronic stress management, you can always join support groups. Physical exercise is the best way to deal with most of the stress, because when you're exercising, you're sweating, you are also relieving certain kind of hormones, like good hormones, feel good hormones, that also helps to reduce the stress. Right? Exercise, yoga, swimming, whatever you feel like doing, you can go to the gym also. Mindfulness, meditation, and self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis is basically you, when you're falling off to sleep, you just tell yourself that I'm happy, I'm not stressed, I'm a joyful person. These are like self-hypnosis things. Just before falling off to sleep, you can say this to yourself. Okay. Biofeedback, time management. Time management is also important, right? So you have to manage your time. That this is my work time. After I go home, that's my personal life, right? You have to manage your time. Proper nutrition and healthy diet, most important, especially at workplace, right? So I'll tell you one example. So we have had a lot of camps in a lot of companies. Okay, so you all are also going to do your blood test. I'm going to watch. So I think 80% of them had high cholesterol. Young people, 25, 26 year girls also, high cholesterol levels. Why? Because stress eating, right? So I'm going to check on all of you also what happens. Okay. Then stop smoking and cut down on alcohol is other ways of managing chronic stress. Also, one more thing I forgot to add here is taking good sleep. Sleep is also important. 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day is also important. Okay? It's hard.
As an adult, like 5 hours. It's hard.
No.
It's hard to sleep.
It's people say different things, but as a doctor, if you're asking me as a doctor, 7 hours of sleep every day.
I thought it was just for babies, 8 hours.
Stop.
Like 5 hours.
I mean, people
and
drink coffee the whole day. In the evening, they're drinking coffee, and then they wonder why they don't get sleep.
Yeah, I thought it's 12 hours. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's my minimum, 10 to 12.
Excessive sleep is also not good.
Yeah.
You get more tired. So I'll tell you something about coffee. Coffee has a half-life of 12 hours.
Yeah.
So the half-life of coffee is 12 hours, right? So for the coffee to go, half of the coffee to go out of your body takes 12 hours. So make sure you don't take coffee too often in the evening. Then you sleep in the night properly on time. Okay?
I thought we need to take coffee 8 glasses a day, no?
Don't do that. 10 times water. So enjoy life as it comes and always try to be happy. Thank you, everyone. Anyone have any questions for me? No questions?
Like in
No,
office,
no.
and